Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing the original Lange Sohne Datograph, the 39mm case flyback chronograph. This specific model 403.032 with pink gold and silver dial was available from 2005 to the run out of first generation datagraphs in 2011. On my 16cm circumference wrist, you can see the timepiece is handsome and easy to wear. It's 39mm, of course, in diameter, which makes it traditionally sized for a complication, and it's not as thick as it looks, though it has a squat aspect ratio. It's only 13mm thick with a nicely domed bezel that allows it to slide easily underneath the cuff. Lug-to-lug, 47.7mm, you'll find this one wears quite easily, and a 20mm spacing between the lugs means you'll find infinite options in that rather universal strap size. Now, the strap that's fitted is a sort of honey brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather with a semi-gloss finish, a little bit of bolstering. You can see a monotone stitch and a folded edge. On the underside, black calfskin. You could see that this is a new Lange Sohne factory strap, and it's paired with the company's signature pin buckle. The pin buckle is an unusual piece in that a lot of energy went into it. There's faceting to add definition to the side. It's a big buckle. It has a lot of metal in it. You can see there's a little revetment for the pin inside the buckle. Attention to detail that I adore. The bridge is actually elevated above the stanchions on the side, so once you buckle it down, the strap sits inside the buckle rather than stacking up underneath it as would normally be the case. And then there's this retaining bar, and that prevents those who are, like myself, slight of wrist, who are likely to use the last aperture on the strap. That prevents the strap from getting stuck down so resolutely that we can't remove it. That retaining bar prevents the strap from getting pinned, as it were, on the pin. The case band is simple and strong. You know the Lange look. It has a little bit of a sheer side with stepped out individual lugs. The lugs themselves have a little bit of a rolled bevel on their side to ease the transition from the hood to the flank, and all of the horizontals are formed by the junction between caseback, mid-case, and bezel. There is a pusher adjuster that has its own curvature to match the case, a delicious detail, and it allows you to quickly index and adjust the panorama datum, or the big date. Now, the timepiece features a dial that is wonderfully layered and deep. You can see outboard there is a tachymeter scale, and it's calibrated in meters, so you're going to be measuring things in kilometers per hour unless you're absolutely aces with your conversion factors. That steps down. It acts as a sort of flange outboard to a dial base featuring stick indices and stylized Roman numerals in pink gold to match. Pink gold hands, pink gold indices, pink gold aperture for the date, and yes, that's correct, because of the style of the dial. You're right in your assumption that the datograph is technically part of the Saxonia collection. That's often overlooked in discussion of the watch. Sunken sub-registers with a little bit of a concentric snailing for chronograph minutes as well as constant seconds. Now, the watch does feature a flyback chronograph, so you can restart and reset it with a simple push of the trigger, which is great if you are using the tachymeter to time things that are going very quickly and events that are occurring in rapid succession. And because there is loom, there will be a loom shot. The timepiece features a dial that is silver, yes, but it is also made of a solid blank of galvanized sterling silver, so even the dial of a Lange watch is precious metal. Note the use of pinched and more elegant alpha-style hands rather than the heavier triangular Dauphine style, and the delicious counterweight diamond of the needle-style seconds hand. Turn it all over. You can see wonderful lozenge-shaped, vintage-inspired chronograph pushers. This is the caliber L9511. It is the movement that is considered to have forced Patek to reconsider its finishing standards when the original datograph with this caliber bowed in 1999. Now, of course, you have a lateral clutch, column wheel chronograph. I'm operating the flyback serially there. You can see the black polished crenellated towers of the column wheel. The datograph is considered to be the industry standard, not just the reference, but the best in terms of pusher feel, and I don't dispute that. The El Primero might require a harder push with a chunkier detent, but this feels more refined. It's the perfect balance of feel and refinement. Now, you can see a lateral clutch. Note, fully jeweled. Usually this is where you're going to see a cheap bushing employed by chronographs with a lateral clutch. No corners cut right here, fully jeweled, including one jewel set in screw-fixed chaton. The balance This is a manual wind movement with a 36-hour power reserve and the balance beating away at 18,000 vibrations per hour. Look at the size of that balance. This watch achieves its precision with 5-position adjustment like a chronometer and a balance of enormous mass rather than high beat rate. You can see that there is an overcoil hairspring, so the watch is able to keep excellent time, the better enabling it to be regulated precisely in those 5 positions. Now, the watch features 40 jewels, and you can see many of them are set in screw-fixed chaton in a nod to the assembly style of vintage East German pocket watches, such as the type the original Lange Sohne would have assembled from the 19th century right up to the mid-20th century collectivization of horology under the communists. You'll note the golden hue of the bridges. That's because nickel copper zinc, known colloquially as German silver, is used here. It's not like rhodium-plated brass, which is silver but gold underneath. The colloquial German silver refers to something that is mostly copper, nickel, and zinc, so it doesn't need to be plated with rhodium. Black polish for the swan's neck mechanism as well as the cover of the escape wheel. You'll note both fire-blued and black polished screws with satin finish on the chronograph levers. This is beautiful, both sides. I wish I could wear it upside down, but since we can't, simply know it's there and it's waiting for you whenever you're ready. This is why owning a datograph is considered to be quintessential to the Lange experience. See this one and start the journey on the Watchbox. The Datograph by Night.